Hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, I'm gonna flip y'all around and show you what I've been doing for the last couple of hours. Cutting grass. I didn't get it all cut last time I cut. I did cut around the house and where I parked and all, and it done got tall again. So I thought it'd take me 2.5 to 3 hours, but it actually took me a little less than 2 hours. But it's all cut. Even the back there and behind the chicken pens way back yonder. Let me show you something else I did today. I'll walk over here. I'm gonna have to move one, but you'll see that in a second. I'll let the teenagers in with the adults here in the middle pen. Now, they mixed right in when they were eating scratch feed when I let them loose. But now they're wanting back in there with the little barnyard mix hen. But they're not going back in there. I've got that black sex link setting in the middle nesting box in there, setting on eggs. I don't know how many eggs she's setting on. I haven't been able to lift her up or anything. I forgot to come out last night, what I was planning on doing, and looking and marking the eggs. It's easier when you got two people. Somebody can hold the chicken and somebody can mark the eggs, but I'm just gonna have to move her tonight and check those eggs. I know there's an artificial one up under. It don't need to be there. But she's really not getting up much at all off those eggs. So I'm gonna see how many's in there tonight, or at least that's my plan. But one of them got back in there with the barnyard mix, and I think it's a little rooster, but we're gonna find out eventually. I think there's 3 roosters out of those 7 chicks. And maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. A little bit too early to tell for sure, but I'm gonna catch it and put it back over here with them tonight once it gets dark and they all go to roost. The other ones, as you can see a little bit there, let me zoom in. The other 6 are still in there and they're around the feeder. Man, it's hard to see through that chicken wire for y'all. But it's not for me. There's 2 over at the waterer. So they don't need the baby waterer anymore, baby feeder, any of that stuff. They're getting pretty big, and I've still got the 12 in the house. So they're doing really well. I wish I could bring those 12 out, but I'm a week or 2 early. So I'm planning on bringing them out probably next weekend, possibly sooner. Let me pull this in a little bit. I think you're too far. But I'm planning on bringing those 12 out probably next weekend and put them in there. And that's why I went ahead and moved those teenagers, is so they'll be out of the way and make room for those 12 that I'm bringing out. And I don't want the older ones picking on the little ones. Now these are the ones that are in there. They're still a little bit skittish. They'll come out and run around, but anything happens, they run back to that pen. So they're getting more and more outwardly. But also, I haven't cranked my bike in a while and rode it, but I cranked it a little while ago. Usually it takes 3 or 4 pulls if it's been sitting for a while. The most I've ever had was, I think, 5, and this time it's been sitting for several months, so it took 6 pulls. They're not hard pulls either, but I rode it around the property out here and then down to the range and back, kind of opened it up, see how fast it'd go, just to blow that carburetor out, kind of. But either way, it did pretty good. So I wasn't used to riding it, so I didn't do nothing crazy with it, but I walked and checked the garden earlier, and I'm a little disappointed, to be honest with you. There's a few tomato plants that I need to tie up again a little bit higher up the poles, but I'm gonna flip around and show y'all. This one here, it's already as tall as the trellising poles, so I'm gonna have to tie it up again This one here's got about a foot to go. And y'all know that sun's gonna blind me on the screen. I'm not gonna be able to see. So I did do some pruning on the squash and zucchini, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. And I need to do some more. Look at this zucchini right here. That thing is bushing out big at the bottom. I'm gonna cut all them bottom leaves off again and try to get it to continue growing up that trellis. And this one's the same way. More leaves coming out at the bottom when I've trimmed them all off. You see the mushrooms growing. In the last 4 days, we've had a little over 5 inches of rain total. So I'm gonna show y'all the peppers. They're coming up pretty good. They look good, they're just not very big. But that's all right. As long as they look healthy and they're still growing, I'm happy with it. That's the last pepper right there. I cannot see the screen at all. All right, so this tomato plant has come up quite a bit, and I've got about a foot above where it's tied. So in the next few days, I'll be tying it back to the middle. Pull those suckers off right there. Some people say it doesn't matter about the suckers, some say it does, but if it's not gonna hurt the plant, why let them grow, especially when I've got them all individualized like this. So I'm gonna just pull them off when I see them. That one's just about doubled in size, thank goodness. And this one's here shooting up a little bit more. It's gonna need reattaching to that trellis pole pretty soon. It's almost 2 feet tall now. Oop, I see a tomato hornworm on there. Do y'all see him? Look right there. Look right there. Let me move that leaf out of the way. Look at that. He's trying to hide. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm gonna feed him to the chickens. I'm gonna feed him to the chickens. And this was the first one we thought we might have had a problem with. So I'll come out again later and check it a little bit better. Maybe tonight with the black light, make sure there's nothing else. Sometimes there's tiny ones hiding. But I'm going to I'm gonna take him to the chicken pen. Let's take him over there and throw him in with the chickens and see how they like him. First one of the year. And flip y'all around. Now I'm gonna leave y'all on that away view so you can see what happens when I throw him in there. All right, y'all ready? She got him. He's in her mouth. He's fixing to be in her doggone gizzard. She finna eat him. They all want him. She gonna eat that little booger. Whoop. Soon as she gets him mashed up enough she can swallow him. Doop, there it went. He's all gone. Oh, that's the only thing tomato hornworms are good for, y'all. At least I saw him. I should have left him on there and showed y'all tonight what he looks like with the black light, but anyway, I'm a little bit disappointed. So the basil is coming up in a lot of places. Let me flip y'all around. See all that basil right there? And there's more down here. A lot of basil coming up. Cherry tomatoes right there. Sweet cherry tomatoes right there. Right there. Right there. So that's 5 on this side of the bed. Nope, 6. There's another one way over here. That's number 6. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that's a cherry tomato. So this bed's actually all come up, and I'm looking forward to that. My grandson loves them. So here are the green beans that I planted. Look how much darker green they are, and they have come up quick. Today is a week ago we planted them, and they have come up a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you look across, the cucumber plant is starting to get bigger. That one is. This one's still a little bit slow, but I still got hopes for it. And then we go to the red cherry tomatoes. There's one right here. A set of two right there. And that's all I see that's come up in this bed, which is a little disappointing, to be honest with you. That might be some right there. But either way, I would love for it to just fill out with them, but we'll see. All right, and then in this bed we planted, let me go around. We planted basil, and it's coming up in the row. I planted it down here and across. There's a little bunch of it there. And I planted 2 cantaloupes. 2 sets of 2 actually. So there's 2 there. And the one that came up over here, which is right there, something got the leaves off of it. So I don't know if it'll make it or not. And then you go to this bed where the soybean is. Look at all the dill that's come up. You can see where I planted it in a row, all the way around. So the dill is coming up extremely well. And the soybeans got little flowers on it. Let's check the eggplants while I'm here. That one hadn't got much bigger. This one's got quite a bit bigger. So the rose bush has got another bloom on it, a small one. So let's take a look at the strawberries. This is my biggest disappointment. I planted strawberries the same day I did everything else. Guys, I don't see anything that I can verify as a strawberry. Nothing, not one. That is disappointing as can be. I just don't see anything that I can say is a strawberry. No strawberries have come up. I was really looking forward to that. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just be planting something else over there if it doesn't come up. But either way, I need to get out here with my Fiskars, scissors, and prune that zucchini and squash back and get it, make sure it's tied up to where it'll keep going up. And check these other tomato plants for tomato hornworm. Since these are 2 biggest plants, I haven't seen one on there when I looked earlier, but this plant right here actually has a little tomato on it right there, and that one's got one on it. But I haven't seen any signs of tomato hornworm. But I'll come out with a black light tonight and check, just in case. If there are any, I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and feed them to the chickens when I get home from work tomorrow. So I was actually thinking of taking a vacation this week, but I didn't. So I don't see any signs of a tomato hornworm over here. Thank goodness. Just one, and you could tell that hen thoroughly enjoyed eating that tomato hornworm, which makes me happy as well. So a little disappointed on the strawberries and the middle bed cherry tomatoes, and something got one of my cantaloupes, but there's still one growing over there or 2 in the same spot. So maybe I'll end up with one, and it'll probably take over that whole bed anyway. But I'm gonna get off here, guys. I took the weekend with no grandkids and nothing. I did absolutely nothing Saturday other than clean house. Now, I've been cleaning house, so I didn't just sit around and do anything. I've been deep cleaning my kitchen, which it needed. I don't like to clean anymore. I'd rather be out here. But all my regular chores have done. I did all of them Friday evening and yesterday, but I've been deep cleaning that kitchen, moving everything, cleaning it, putting the stuff back. And I've still got to do the stove and the range hood. Everything else is done. So hopefully I'll finish that tonight. and call it done. So today is Father's Day. So any of you papas out there, happy Father's Day to you, grandpas and so on. Now, just because you may not be a biological daddy to somebody, people adopt kids all the time, like me, foster homes. There's a lot of reason there are a lot of good men out there that are fathers to children that they didn't have to be. And make sure those know that we appreciate them. So y'all have a happy Father's Day. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, I see a blue jay in my yard. That's good. But either way, I'm gonna get off here. I've got to go in there and I'm gonna get the eggs when I go out there and check that hen, see how many's up under her. But I'm not gonna get them until then. There's no need to go in there and get them all stirred up, or her all stirred up, when they're all on, you know, not on the roof. So I see 2 chickens that are in the pen getting picked on by the gray one that I hatched. I don't know why she's picking on them, but look, chickens have a pecking order. And those baby chicks, as they grow up, have got to learn where their pecking order is, where they are in the chain of command. And that's just part of it. I'm not going to show it on YouTube because YouTube will freaking give me a warning or a strike for it when it's the normal ways of chickens. But y'all, I hope you had a great Father's Day. Make sure the father in your life knows that you love him and you appreciate him. Next weekend, both my daughters and their spouses and kids are supposed to be here. So I may not get a video done that day, but that's all right. I'll try to work on them during the week. But anyway, so we're going to celebrate Father's Day next weekend. I was told if I had any plans to cancel them. So it doesn't matter if I want to or not, which I do. But y'all be good. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, the greatest Father of all. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.